are you feeling groovy this morning? Our first song is Feeling Groovy, and you'll find it under the F's.
Under the F's, imagine that.
Good morning. Welcome to Pasadena New Thought Center. We are a New Thought, ancient wisdom congregation that believes in the power of our God-aligned thoughts in the form of prayer, meditation, and affirmation to create a reality that is a happy, healthy, and abundant one. It's wonderful to see your smiling faces here today. My name is Steve, and it's my privilege to facilitate the service this morning. If there are any newcomers, a special welcome to you today. You're among friends here, and we're so glad you feel called to join us. Don't see too many, but... and speaking of calls, please silence your phone. Spirit doesn't need anything to help it out, really. And I believe I've done that. Sorry, guys. Okay. Our circle of love time. So walls come down and community is created when we acknowledge the God presence that is alive within each and every one of us. For a moment of fellowship, please raise the palms of your hands toward one another as we create a circle of love. Keeping your eyes open, imagine God's loving energy emitting from your right hand as you receive it with your left. As we make eye contact with our fellow spiritual travelers, give thanks for their presence here today. Expand this loving energy to all the names in our prayer box, all the members of our church who aren't here with us today, and for our society at large. Thank you. Namaste. Okay, so for our short and sweet inspiration today, I tried to tie in with our speaker's message, and it is titled, Opening New Doors. And I struggled with that a little bit. I thought about, like, let's make a deal or something, like, which door do you pick? And then I had what I thought was a good quote from Walt Disney, and if I was clever enough, I would have had it here all ready to go, but okay. So what he said was, we keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. And I like that, and I'm hoping that our speaker will fill in the blanks. And, okay, it's time for our statement of being. Let's affirm and align in our intention for today's service by reciting it together. You'll find it inside of our choir books, typically, and this expresses our willingness to open our hearts and minds to receive the infinite, endless store of good God always has in mind for us. Okay. I am spirit. I think, see, feel, and live as spirit in the presence of God, and through the power of God in me, am able to manifest the perfection of spirit in mind, body, and environment. Thank you. Namaste. Today, our speaker is Dr. Nancy B. Berggren, and I understand that we have Caressa to thank for her being here, so thank you very much. And I have a short biography for you. Okay. Now in her early 90s, Nancy B. still pours her passion and love of life into everything she does. She is a dynamic and inspiring international speaker, published author, actor, non-denominational minister, and proud grandmother of 24 grand and great-grandchildren. Her newest best-selling book is To Hell with Aging, 7 Lessons for Living an Ageless Life. And I have a quote from Amazon here. The outrageous 91-year-old Nancy B. has written a passionate, provocative, irreverent treatise on breaking the rules of aging. She shares her hard-earned wisdom gained by winning and losing at life and cleaning up the messes she made along the way. You will be entertained, but beware, it may just change your life. And her talk for us today is, as I said, Opening New Doors. And we are happy to welcome her here, and we look forward to her talk, but now it is time for meditation.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I just need a moment to drink you in. Good morning, Caressa, Steve, all my new friends. So lovely to meet you. Let's take a breath and just turn within. I'm going to give you a little guided meditation, then we'll be silent and I'll bring you back. Now it is time to see beyond the sky. What can we see beyond the sky? Nothing. A space with no concepts, no projections, no pictures. A pure space beyond the sky, completely without disturbance. Nirvana. This is your nature. Peace. Now, it is time to see beyond the sky. What can you see beyond the sky? Nothing. A space with no concepts, no pictures, no projections. A pure space beyond the sky, completely without disturbance. This is your nature. Peace. Take a deep breath with me. Come back to this room and now wiggle your fingers and toes and be here and now. Thank you. I asked for.
Was my foundation minister, so when I learned classes for New Thought, she was my teacher, and I'm forever grateful.
How sweet. Thank you, Steve. My own PR, I'll pay you later. I asked for a hand mic because you can't keep me tied down, you know. So, title of my talk is Opening Doors, Opening New Doors. Oh, we have light here. My spotlight. You know, we're living in tumultuous times, and sacred geometry tells us that what's happening in our galaxy and the position of the planets and things which I know nothing about hasn't happened for thousands of years and won't happen again for another thousands, many more thousands of years. So it's the possibilities, the opportunities for transformation, the opportunities for opening new doors, the opportunities for recommitting to yourself, to your own passion, your own purpose, your own being. Your reason for being here is here now. It's bigger than it has ever been before, and it may never be again, certainly not in our lifetime. So transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's like the overnight success has been working on their career for 20 years, and then suddenly they say, oh, we just discovered, well, and they've been working for years and years and years. It happens incrementally, doesn't it? A little piece at a time. And one small action taken repeatedly over time will change your life. And we know that because we've been doing that all along, and our lives are changed. But sometimes I think we're doing it unconsciously, and then we look at the results and we go, well, where did that come from? I didn't ask for that one. Well, maybe it did. You know, we need to pay really close attention to our thoughts, because it's not only when we're in prayer, it's not only when we're on Sundays in the sanctuary, it's all the time. It's when we're driving, it's when we're about to go to sleep, it's in the shower, it's all the time. The universe is always listening, so we got to pay attention to what we're talking about. So I have a question for you. What do you really want? What, if you know what you really, really want, then you can have it. But until you get really clear, crystal clear, the universe can't give it to you. Because that's just how it is. It's just how it is. I used to think about it like spring house cleaning. We don't do it so much that way anymore, but they used to take down the drapes, roll up the carpets, all the furniture came in the middle of the room, and then you'd look at that mess and go, what in the hell was I thinking? And it looks worse before it's better. So I think we're in the middle of the chaos theory, where everything that's known falls apart, but it falls apart to make room for something new. So we can focus on the fall apart, or we can focus on the new. And it's important to keep our vision focused on what it is we want to see be revealed. So as an actor, in my career about 8 years ago, I felt like I was getting boring. I was being a boring actor. It was kind of, I had lost my edge. It wasn't exciting. So I thought, well, what could I do to kick myself in the booty to bring back the spark, the light, the passion? So I thought stand-up comedy. I think the hardest thing I can think of as an actor would be stand-up comedy. So I took some classes, and in about 6 months, I found myself at the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, doing my routine, which started with the title of There's a Man in My Bed. And the first sentence was, shh, there's a naked man in my bed. I can't believe it either. I haven't had a date since 1952. So, you know, where in your life do you think you've stopped being stretched? Because part of this falling apart is because we need to recreate ourselves. It's time, and I have noticed, not only in individuals or actors, but also in restaurants and markets and any kind of business that is successful. Look at Trader Joe's and Starbucks and places like that. They recreate themselves. We can't keep doing what we always did and expect to get something different, because it's not going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. So think about what you want and get really, really clear. So I was going to a wedding, my grandson's wedding. It's the second one, and there's another one coming up in May. So my grandkids are now the second generation. This third generation are getting to a point where they're all getting married. And the ones before them are all having babies. So I'm going to another wedding, and it's a big bougie affair. So that's what my granddaughters told me. It was a bougie affair. I said, okay, I'll go with that. So the bride's home, where they held the reception, was 6,500 square feet. So you get an idea of when we're not talking little, we're talking big bougie, not little. So we had our gowns, and we had the hotels, and we had our plans and our drive and all this stuff. We had it all figured out, but I couldn't find shoes. I had the gown, but I couldn't find shoes. So my daughter said, well, just order like 3 pairs on Amazon and then see what you like. So I ordered 3 pairs, but they were like, color wasn't, the heel, I didn't like the heel, I don't know, they didn't fit. She said, well, just order 3 more. I went, well, okay, I guess I have to, because I don't have any other choice at this point. I've never done that before, but okay, I'll do that. So I get they dribble in, you get one, you get another. I said, yeah, I'm so disappointed, they're just not right. She said, my daughter said, well, it would really help, Mom, if you knew exactly what you wanted. I said, I know exactly what I want. I want a peep-toe neutral low-heel pump. It just came out of me like a shot. Guess what the next shoebox I opened was? A peep-toe neutral low-heel pump. I should have worn them today so you can see I'm not faking it, honest to God. But look what happened. All the time that I was talking about all the shoes that weren't right, that didn't fit, weren't the right color, and the heel wasn't right, I didn't think I was complaining. I was just stating a fact. But the facts that I was stating were pretty negative, weren't they? So the second I changed that, the second I dropped that and said, this is what I want, the universe gave it to me. That's how clear you have to be. And when you become that clear, the universe has no choice but to give it to you. It has to give it to you because you created it. But notice 2 things. I just thought about this in the car. There were 2 things that were happening there. When I said, I know exactly what I want a peep-toe neutral low-heel pump, that was the clarity of what I wanted. What was the second thing that was happening there? With seeking it with passion. Because if I just said, yeah, I just really like a neutral, I don't know, pump maybe, color. No, you have to bring it with passion. Because passion is the energy that drives your word. It's the gas in your Prius or your Lexus. It's the gas in your, and without that, it's not going to move, or it may move slowly, or it may not come when you want it to come, it may come later, but it's the passion. And you notice how much passion we put into things that we don't care about, that we don't like, we don't want. We're like, but then when we speak our prayers, we go really silent. And that's good too. There's a place for both of those things. One of them is listening, which is what we just did earlier. But the other one is speaking your word. And when you speak your word about what it is you want, you have to use energy. You don't have to call it passion, but you have to use energy. Okay? You with me so far? So here's a quote for you. Oh, I got this quote from a gal after the talk at the Bakersfield Center for Spiritual Living. One gal came up to me and she said, my grandpa taught me, focus on the good because you always get what you focus on. So I thought, that's the whole teaching. That's the first 4 chapters of Science of Mind and Spirit in one sentence. You add that to passion and you've got the whole thing. So focus on the good. So right now, look at what you want. Just take a look at what you really want. Like, I know there's a plethora of it. Pick one thing that's really high on a totem pole for you right now, what that thing is, and ask where your focus has been. Just notice. It's not right or wrong. Just notice. Because until we become aware of where our thoughts are going, we can't change them. We can't make a difference because we have to know what's happening. And then flagellating ourselves because we didn't go right the first time is just a waste of energy. Don't do that either. Just notice. Notice where your focus has been. And if you've been noticing that the heel wasn't right, the color wasn't right, and they didn't fit right, then you might want to rethink that and change to a, this is what I want. How many of you know this is what I want? How many of you are clear about what you want? Yeah, that's most of us. Well, Dr. James Mellon, where I'm the staff minister in Westlake Village, when I go to him for counseling 4 or 5 times in the 15 years we've been together, and I'd get to the end of my blah, 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 and I'd say, so what do you think? And he said, well, what do you think? And I go, well, I don't know. That's why I came to you. And he said, well, if you knew what it was, what would it be? And then it's interesting because you go deeper with that question, that second question, and if you wait, if he hangs on for a minute, you find it. It's in there already. And everything helps you on your way. You'll find it because it's already inside of you. So just notice that. In The Impersonal Life by Joseph Benner, which was written over 100 years ago. And by the way, if you weren't aware of the Science of Mind textbook, is 100 years old. This is its century. It was published in 1926. So this is its 100-year, the centennial celebration of the Science of Mind textbook. So in this Impersonal Life by Joe Benner, which I love this little book, I love these little books, it says you are human, yes, but you are also divine. The first of these you believe. The second you do not believe, yet both are true. That is the mystery. And that's what we're here to talk about. See, the divine chose to incarnate here as you. So you're divine. You couldn't be anything else. It's the very life that's living you right here and right now. How could you be separated from your own life? You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible. And that's why your word is the activity of divine mind. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say it differently. And then you're going to say it after me. My word is the activity of divine mind. I'll give it to you in a section. My word is the activity of divine mind. It is, and that's why you're so powerful and why your word makes a difference. I'm not talking about words. We know the difference. I'm talking about word. Your word, when you speak it with power and passion and clarity, the universe, the field, the quantum field brings it to you because it's already there waiting for you to ask for it in such a way that it can't give it to you. It wants to do that. That gives it great joy. So the more, what I've noticed is the more I listen and follow, the more I receive it. The more attention I pay to that inner voice and then follow its direction, which I don't always do, but I'm getting better at it, the more I hear it, then the more I get it. So I had an audition, and it was to shoot on Monday. This was 2 weeks ago. It was a shoot on Monday, and it was for a nun, and I'd done a nun before in all black, but these nuns were all white. And I looked, I've nothing. I got nothing. So I go, well, what do I wanted to be authentic. I wanted to make it real. So I go, okay, what do I do? Where do I go? And I'm busying around on Saturday, and I keep hearing goodwill, goodwill, goodwill. The third time I heard it, I went, okay, all right, I'm going. So I go to the Goodwill. I mean, I have a picture, of what this nun is supposed to look like. So I go to the Goodwill. I walk in, and on top of the extra large section, which I'm not, is a long sleeve turtleneck white t-shirt plain. I go, well, that's the first piece. Pick it up. I go to the back wall, and I look for all the white, long white. I need white to the floor, right? So I'm pulling out the white, and I find an extra large slip dress. Doesn't matter. T-shirt will go on top, and I'll tie it with the belt. Doesn't matter. So I go home, and I'm looking at the picture again, and I go, gotta have this colored tape, but the tape has to be able to to adhere to fabric. Where am I going to find tape like that? It's 25 minutes to 5, and I hear go to True Life Hardware, True Hardware, whatever the name, right down the street. I look at it, it's 25 minutes, and I don't want to go. Okay, I get up off my booty, and I go to the hardware store, and I go there all the time, this little corner one. And I'm telling the guy I need this colored tape, this specific color, but it has to be able to adhere to fabric. Where do I go to look for it? He said, oh, the guy already heard you, he's bringing it up. Okay. So then I go home and I have to make a drape. I've got a sheet and it's too heavy and bulky, and I go, I guess I have to buy a curtain. So then I go to the thrift store and I buy a curtain. So I call my friend and I go, I don't know what am I supposed to do with all this stuff? He says, I don't know, bring it over. So I go over. And I go over and I arrive with a curtain, a roll of electrical tape in a color, and a t-shirt, a long dress. And she says, I've got this. We take this rubber band, we fold this here, throw it over your shoulder. Tape goes down here, and you drape it over there, and you're all done. 15 minutes, it was all done. And it was fabulous. And I used a pillowcase for the headpiece. Tied it on, and it was fabulous. But see, all along there, I was listening. Not only was I listening because I had a real purpose and a deadline also, because it was shooting on Monday, but I also followed what I heard. And I didn't always want to. 20 minutes, I'm an early bird, so 25 minutes to 5, my day's done. It was done at 4:30. But I went, okay, 20, I can still make it, I'll go. And this just boom, boom. When you are in alignment with your soul, everything just flows effortlessly. And when I'm not, it feels like I'm slogging through mud. Doesn't it feel like that sometimes? Just feels like you're slogging through mud. So walk away. I get stuck a couple times riding the walk. Okay, it's not flowing. Go take a walk. Go write a letter. Go do something else for a minute, and then come back, and it's all fresh. So I took my iPhone with me and took a walk, and I barely got out the door before it started pouring through, and I thought, oh, I better get that memo thing and record it. So I recorded it while I'm walking, doing my little evening walk, and I got back and wrote it down, and there it is. So here is an affirmation for you, and I'm going to read it. This is what changed my life, what caused me to recommit myself to my spiritual practice and to go deeper. I don't want to walk with anything. I want to go deep inside and find that center inside that can't be moved. And I want to go deep, deep, deep. And I found this about 4 months ago before Christmas. Take a breath. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. You notice it didn't say just a little bit. It didn't say enough to make it through payday. It didn't say enough to barely cover your rent. It said lavish abundance. And we're not talking about money only. How about lavish love? How about lavish opportunities in your career? How about lavish friendship and peace and harmony in your family and so forth? Your inner voice is your own inner self, and it's talking all the time. All the time. But we're not always listening, I think. I think we're not always listening. But this is the one. No, that's not. This is the one I want to give to you. This is the one that really shook me to my core and brought me to a place where I could surrender completely and say, I know nothing. Fill me with your being and call it forth. Anyway, here it is. This is also from The Impossible Life by Joseph Benner. If you will devote but 1 hour each day to me alone, imagining and practicing my presence within you, I here promise you that not only soon, very soon, will you find me, but I will be for you an exhaustless fount of such wisdom and strength and help that your human mind now cannot begin to conceive. Take a breath. And that's what I've experienced in my life. That help, that guidance, that moment by moment by moment movement when I listen and follow the guidance I receive. And you do the same thing. Spend time in silence. Recommit to your own growth, your own spiritual inner knowing. No one can do that for you, only you. And there's only one thinker in your mind. So if you noticed when you were looking at what you want, and you noticed that your focus wasn't always exactly where you wanted it to be, if you created it, the good news is you can just recreate it. Just do it again. Create it all over again and make it new. Like I did when I shifted from the heels and the colors and everything that wasn't right to this is what I want. And then and then we could have it. And it works for everything, everywhere, all the time. So look at what you want, what you really want. A lot of you had your hands up. And then just claim it, embrace it, and turn it over and then let it go. So have you heard about the Buddhist vacuum cleaner? It comes without attachments. So what I noticed about this audition that I did on Monday, actually I did 2 back-to-back on Monday, very different. The second one was the mother of a bride dressed to the nines, who drank too much and was really not very nice, not a very nice lady at all. So from the sublime to the ridiculous, right? And I thought I had that one. Thought I had that one. But anyway, I didn't even know what I was going to say about that. I don't know. Must not have been very interesting. Oh, I know. It's about, what you want and that you have to claim it. And, oh no, it was about attachments. That's what it was, about attachments. Because this audition, the first one that I did of the nuns thing, it meant a lot to me. It was very sacred. I spent a lot of time doing research over the weekend. I spent a lot of time putting together this outfit. And I remembered when I was up for iCarly, and I was supposed to be a tiny psychic. They wanted a tiny psychic. So I put together a tiny altar with a tiny glass, to look into. And I found tiny tarot cards that were this big. And I set this, and I did my whole thing with my purple blah, and chains and ear, blah, blah, blah. And I said to the gal that was my best friend, Donia, who had come to be my reader, because you have to have somebody off camera that's reading with you. I said, I put too much time. She said, no. That attention to detail is your intention to do the best that you know how to do. And it could be anything. I don't know what you do, but when you take the time to do the best that it could possibly be, whatever that is for you, it makes a difference because you've invested more of your energy into what it is that you're doing. It means something. So this means something to me in a deep way. So I completely let it go. And I remember Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks had a new book that had come out about 7 years ago, and he was being interviewed about his book. And it was like, I don't know, half-hour interview, and at the end they asked him about his next movie. And he said, oh, that's just my day job. And that was Tom Hanks. We've got a, multi-Oscar winner who's, in my book, as high as you can get on the scale of actor, person, heartfelt, living the good life. And he says, my day job. So anytime I feel my ego wants to go a little grab it or attack, I go, oh, it's just my day job. That's what I'm sticking with, because I know I can't let the ego get caught into it or be attached to it in any way. And from the beginning, I said, if this is for me, it's already mine, it's already done, because there's no time and spirit. And if it's not for me, then I don't want it, because it belongs to somebody else. And if you try to take something that belongs to somebody else and make it your own, it's not going to be fun. Not going to be good at all. So here's a final fun quote. Now you know that I am not pleased when you ask, when you're satisfied with a little. I want you always and forever to ask a lot. And so it is. Amen.
This is our time of giving from our hearts, with joy and with love, some of that abundance that we've received in this life, knowing that everything that we give with love comes back to us tenfold. If you have your gift, hold it between your hands. If you've already put it in the basket, please raise your hands to bless the basket as we say together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is. And our love offering to you, dear lady. Oh, dear, thank you. We'll exchange. Okay.
Okay, wasn't that wonderful? Thank you. Thank you so much. I really felt like I got a lot out of that. What is going on here? Okay, so it is our time to, we're doing our announcements first, don't we? Isn't that right? Or no, or are we thanking people? You can thank people. I'm going to thank people. Okay, so we want to thank, of course, Dr. Nancy B. for being here today, and Caressa for getting her in here, and everybody that helped with the service, our wonderful choir, and Tom, of course. Thanks, guys. And thank you for, who did the flowers today? Suzanne, thank you. Thank you very much. They're beautiful. And thanks to our kitchen staff, Marianne, and Reverend Barbara for the refreshments we'll be enjoying soon, I would hope. And everyone for attending today. Thanks, everybody. And after that, I think I've got announcements, if I remember right. Okay, so it says here 2025 donation letters were emailed last week. If you didn't receive it, one can be printed out and mailed to you. There's a toxic waste disposal event at the Rose Bowls Brookside Park next Saturday. Flyers are in the narthex. There's a board meeting next Sunday, and in keeping with the board's commitment to transparency, you're invited to attend. And I guess this is for the toxic waste thing, not the other thing, right? And then I believe that Dr. Berggren's got some books in the narthex. The title she mentioned, To Hell with Aging, 7 Lessons for Living an Ageless Life. So I think I'm going to pick up one of those, maybe for my mom or maybe for me. I don't know. Who knows? Who couldn't use that? And I think that's about everything. Again, please join us in Harmony Hall for coffee and refreshments afterward. And I give it back to you to do the benediction.
So let's just take a moment and breathe all of this in. All the music, all the prayers, all the camaraderie, all the love we feel. And I'm so grateful for this moment to remember who we are, who I am, who the I am is. When each of us speaks our I am, that power, that presence, that abundance, that joy, that peace, that harmony, that balance, that abundance is yours now, is ours now. So I know that whatever needed to be heard was heard, whatever needed to be said was said, and each and every one of us takes something home with us. Something shifted, something changed. We heard something or felt something, and we're moved by it, and we're changed by it. So in gratitude and joy, I release this word in great gratitude for all those who served today. And I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is.
Our last song for the service is Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. It couldn't be more appropriate because I know my spirit was deeply fed today. So please join us in singing Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. It's in your books under the S. What page? It's under the S. It's in alphabetical order.
Towards the end. We don't have numbers.
Spirit-Led,